Hey there friends, this is Carrie with Anyday Blessings, and today I have another homeschool video for you. That's primarily the focus of this channel. If you haven't guessed yet, if you're new here, this is mainly where I share all things homeschool for our family and how we do it, and curriculum walkthroughs and fun things like that. Occasionally I will share things about frugal living or thankful living to other things that I'm really excited to share about, but most of that stuff is over on my blog or Facebook or Instagram, so you're welcome to follow me over there if those topics interest you as well. If you would, please go ahead and subscribe and like this video. I tend to track, when I get a lot of subscribers and likes to see the kind of content that you guys like to see. I think Masterbooks is a big hit, and that's what this video is about. My actually most viewed video has to do with the topic we're talking today. I have about 10,000 views on that video, and so I guess you all like to hear about language lessons because that's by far my biggest homeschool viewed video. Homeschool video views. I don't think I said that grammatically right. I still don't think I said it right. Anyway, you know what I mean. So I wanted to do this video today because I get a lot of questions on that video, the one I just mentioned, about spelling, and also I see a ton of questions in the Moms of Masterbooks group on Facebook about spelling, because as it is written in the language lessons book, there is just one day of spelling activity, so you think, but that's not the case. There's actually plenty of material in here for a full week of spelling. It's just not spelled out as detailed as like the rest of the book is. So I have made, I'll just go ahead and show it to you now. I have made a handy dandy printable that's available for download on my blog. So this is, it says, I can't really see the green. I love this green, but it doesn't really show up well. Weekly spelling plan for language lessons for living education, all levels. So this is something I think you could use for spelling at all levels, and I've got it day by day, just a bullet list of what you could do, and you could print this off, put this right in the front of your teacher binder or whatever, and I'm going to walk you through how you could even make a little teacher book for teaching spelling so that you could have your book and your student could have his book, and not be sharing a book if that doesn't work for you, or you could simply work out of this book if that works better for you. I'm just about giving you options in this video. This isn't about telling you this is the way to do it or anything like that. This is not official or sponsored by Masterbooks. This is one mom's version of how she implements spelling with this program. Now this is our plan. I want to be very forthright about that. This is not something we've actually tried yet. I'm making some changes to spelling, and this is my plan. So I have done these things, but with other words. So I guess we have done this, but just not with the lists in this book. So I have done this plan before, but I'm now going to try it with the words in this book, okay? So we are switching things up, and so I thought, while I'm making my plan, why not share it with you all and then give you something written that can either do one of two things: give you a written plan that you can just follow and implement in your home and be done with it, or give it to you and as an inspiration for ways that you could make a spelling plan that more closely fits your needs in your home. So either way, I seek to help, so hopefully it does one of those two things for you. So let's get into it. First of all, I did a video, like I mentioned before, about 30 minutes going through this, and I did reference spelling and how I would do it, but I get so many questions about spelling that I wanted a specific video that I could point them to instead of asking them to watch a 30-minute video that only mentions spelling for a little bit of time. But in the front of the book is some very important teacher information, and there's actually a little section about spelling and vocabulary right here. I encourage you to read that. It doesn't look like much to you, but this is basically telling you that this is meant to be throughout the week. It's not just meant to be on day 5 of the week where the written activity is. There is somewhat of an assumption that you're doing activities with these words all week long, and by the time you get to day 5, this is kind of like the finishing activity to wrap it all up. But in the back, there is also a list of spelling words and a list of spelling games. I have mine tabbed here. I just can't, the tab is sticking. Okay. So here is in the back of the book is a list of spelling games and ways to practice and some more information for the teacher. Kind of going over the master book method and how they decided that this way was effective to have you work on spelling with your family. So you see there's a good healthy list. You can actually look online too. If you just type something like spelling games or spelling activities or playing games or spelling words or something like that, you can even find more than what's here. But there's a healthy list here that I don't think you'll really have to go searching for too many things. Okay, so over here, next page over, are the lists. Now you'll notice, I'm going to reference this, so I'm going to show you this blank list here. Every 9 lessons, see, like right here, this is blank, and I'm going to reference that. That's the review list, okay? That's where you can jot down words that your student needs to review. So I'm going to be referencing that in my plan. All right, I wanted to show you those things so it makes sense when I go over what to do. So day 1, this is what I would suggest. If you're looking for somewhat of a week-by-week plan, here you go. Day 1, I would suggest that you actually tear out those lists in the back that I just showed you, or make copies of them or something, and have a copy in front of you, and have that day 5 page opened up. Okay, have this opened up. And have spell each word out loud as your child follows along with your spelling with his finger in the book. So for instance, we have the word brick right here. That's our first word. I would have my child have the book open and I would say brick, B-R-I-C-K. And he would look at the word while I'm spelling it out loud. Okay, then I would suggest having your child write each word on the index card. Now that is actually suggested on the bottom of the page here. So that's actually already a master book's suggestion that they give to you. I would suggest doing that on day 1. Have your child write out the word on an index card, write out each word, and as they're writing the word, I suggest that they actually spell it out loud. B-R-I-C-K, brick. Okay, so as they're writing out all of their words, have them say them out loud. The reason I suggest this is I did read the part in the master book's appendix, or whatever you want to call it, that talked about research showing how children learn spelling words and writing, and how that's a strong tie, and that's true. I've read that same information. But I've also recently come to learn about the auditory component of memory and how it's a much stronger activity if you're spelling and writing and hearing at the same time. So the audio and the written component together are the strongest combination for retention. So I have had my children do this even before we started this plan, or plan to start this plan. We have been writing our words and saying them out loud. And when I spell them to him out loud, I have him listen and follow along as I suggested, because there is a strong tie to hearing. There's actually a very good video that's on YouTube about spelling and the brain. I encourage you to look that up, because it's a really, I think that's what it's called, spelling and the brain. It's a really good research-based talk about hearing the words in addition to just writing them. So I thought I would just add that little piece, so you know why I'm having them say the words out loud, because those directions aren't in here, but that's just to give the strongest measure of practice. We're going to say the words out loud so he's hearing the words as he's writing them. So day 1 is spell each word out loud to your student as he follows along. Have them write the words on the index cards, spelling each word out loud as he writes. And then finally, go over the list with your child to review the meanings of the words. And if there are any words that he doesn't know, have him look them up in a dictionary. Now, if he doesn't know the entire list, then maybe you could just pick 2 or 3 for a younger student to have them look it up. I'm not going to make him look up 10 words in a dictionary if he doesn't know them all. But if I would imagine there's probably only a couple that they don't know, or 2 or 3. Have him look up those words in a dictionary that first day. And the reason that I encourage you to use the dictionary is because this starts to exercise other skills that are often covered in spelling curriculum. Alphabetizing using a dictionary, learning to identify guide words and things like that. So I would encourage you to actually use the hard copy dictionary for this activity, but you could certainly look these up on Google or something else if your goal for this day is simply to find out the meanings of the word. Because spelling isn't just putting the words in the right order and spelling correctly. It's also about word usage and word choice in a sentence. So they have to understand the meanings that are tied to the words that they're spelling. All right, so that was day 2. I'll go quicker, sorry. That was day 1. Day 2, choose a spelling game from that appendix section. So there are lots to choose from there. Just pick one and play it on day 2. Then, using your spelling flashcards that you made on day 1, go ahead and have your child say the word out loud and spell it out loud. Okay? So brick, B-R-I-C-K. And as they're spelling it out loud, have them trace. They don't have to write the word again. In this house, we try and limit the writing. I have a very reluctant writer, and he really, really hates it. And so I try not to introduce writing just for the sake of writing. I believe that tracing with the finger brings that written memory component into play. So have him use the spelling flashcards, say the word out loud, spell it out loud, and trace the word again. So just do those flashcards again on day 2, and then both you and the student use use 2 words in a sentence. So for a total of 4 words. So again, we're working on word usage and meaning. Pick 2 words, each of you, and use them in a sentence. Now, if it were me, I would pick words that my child didn't know on day 1, that he had to look up. I would use those words in a sentence and then allow him to pick words that he's familiar with to use in a sentence. So that's day 2. Choosing a spelling game, practicing with the flashcards by spelling out loud and tracing, and then using words in a sentence. Day 3, that's when I would actually complete the written activity in the book. Okay, that's when I would complete that. And then that would be a wrap. So I would kind of make that middle day a little less activity. So you see the first couple days I have several activities. That third day, just kind of a midweek break a little bit, just do the written activity. I put here a note, depending on the ease with which your child completed the first 2 days activity, if they kind of got these words, on day 1 and day 2 really well, then you could assign this as an independent activity. But if your child, is struggling at this point with these words still, I would do the written activity with him. All right, day 4, this is when you're going to do the create a dictionary activity. I didn't show you those pages in the back. You can actually, if it's easier to photocopy these from the website, they do have these on the website as well. But let me just show you the create a dictionary pages. We actually did this before we found master books, and my son had such a hoot out of writing. Oh, why can't I find the dictionary pages? Now all of a sudden I can't find them. Okay, there. My son got such a kick out of drawing silly pictures for the word meanings. So here are these blank pages. You can copy those and make your own dictionary, or have your child make his own dictionary, really. And there's a space for a sentence and then a picture. So I would do that on day 4. And the way that I would choose these words is just any words that your child is still having difficulty spelling. That's what I would choose. But maybe, you prefer something different. That's just what I would choose. I want to give my child as many opportunities working with those trouble words as possible. So I would probably pick the words for him if he was still having trouble. Now, by day 4, if he's doing okay with the words, then he can pick whatever words he wants. I also have a note here. The number of words should kind of be determined based on the child's age. So I would not have my 2nd or 3rd or 4th grader do all of their spelling words in the Create a Dictionary. I would pick 2, maybe let him pick 2. But I would not have them do all the words. Now, by the time we're up to level 6, perhaps I would. I don't know. But I don't want to come across as saying that they should do all their words in the dictionary, because I think that's probably not necessary. But if it's a preference or they enjoy the activity, certainly they can do that. And then also on day 4, so this is the other reason I suggest limiting the words, because I have a second activity planned. Also on day 4, I would practice some sort of sorting or alphabetizing activity. You could take the flashcards and have your child sort by vowel team, or you could have them sort by whatever phonics pattern is being practiced. Let me open up to an example. This week's is blends, okay? So you could have them sort by blends. You've got a couple that have the CK blend, a couple that have the FT blend, a couple by the ND blend, just so that they're able to isolate those different sounds still when they're saying the words. So maybe you could hold the flashcards and just give your child the categories and say, okay, this is the word. Now, what pile does it go in? Don't let them see it, because if they see the card, they're going to see the ND blend, right? You're trying to isolate those sounds a little bit. So I would have your child. I would have your child just have maybe the categories before him, and you read off the words, and then once he's identified, okay, it goes in this pile, then have him spell the word to get the card. I don't know. You could do it however you want. There are some suggestions for sorting activities in the back of the guide here, but I tend to usually make up my own based on the things I know my son likes to do. You could have your child alphabetize his spelling words. Take those flashcards, put them in alphabetical order. We do that a lot here. You could have your child, I have another suggestion here. You could have them sort by parts of speech. If you want to get some other grammar practice in here, let's find which ones are vowels. And then as they put a word card in that pile, in that category, they can trace and spell out loud. Okay, so you see we're still getting that practice of spelling the word, but we're bringing in some other skills so it doesn't just feel like they're sitting there writing their spelling words out all the time. Okay, so that's day 4. Creating a dictionary pages and some sort of sorting activity with the words. And then on day 5, give that spelling bee and have your child show all that he knows. There are directions given in the appendix of the book for how to run this spelling bee, so I'm not going to go over that again. It's back there for you. After you give the spelling bee, record any missed words on that review list that I showed you, because you're going to want to go over those again. If you prefer, you could add them to the next week's lesson. If you don't want to let that much time go by, say you're in week 1 of that 9-week review cycle and you said, I don't want to go that long to review that word, let's put it on next week's list and on the review week, however you want to do it. But somehow record that word to go over again. Don't just, let it go. Just put it somewhere to review again. I have a couple notes here at the bottom, just little asterisks that I wanted to go over with you real quick. I suggest playing the same game on day 3. I suggest playing the same game from week to week, about 4 to 6 weeks in a row. The reason I suggest that, from personal experience, is that when you keep introducing new games, be it language games, math games, whatever it is, your child spends a lot of energy learning the rules and the how-to and the strategy of a new game, on top of learning new spelling words or new math facts. So if you keep something the same, this is the game we played last week, buddy. This is the same game. This is the game we've been playing a while. You know how to play this. Then that mental energy is focused on the new spelling word and learning to, oh goodness, I just spit. Sorry. Learning to spell that new word and not learning how to play a new game. And I just feel like, let's free up some mental real estate and allow your kiddo to have something familiar so that the new stuff isn't as taxing to that mental energy. Just my suggestion. If your kiddo needs more variety, then maybe switch it up every 3 weeks or so. But me personally, I would not do a new game every week with the spelling words. I would repeat that for a few weeks. And then the last note I have here is for those of you who choose to do spelling in a 4-day schedule. So if you have a co-op or you just like to do 4 days, whatever it is you have, and you need spelling in 4 days, I do have a note down here at the bottom that I suggest combining days 4 and 5 together into one day and just omitting the dictionary activity, not creating a dictionary, and just using that sorting activity that I mentioned as like a warm-up for the spelling bee. So I think you could combine easily days 4 and 5 of this schedule to get you down to a 4-day week. So that's it. That is my plan for using or doing spelling in master books. Like I said, I've done most of these activities with spelling before. I just haven't done them using the master books list, but I'm planning to do that to make that switch. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this plan, maybe some things that you have done using the language lessons for living education spelling words. You can leave that in the comments below, or you can catch up with me on Instagram or Facebook. I will be posting a picture of this over on my Instagram if you want to see this more close up. This is available for download on anydayblessings.com in the subscriber freebies section. You can just print it off, put it in your binder, hang it, on a bulletin board, whatever's easy for you. And let me know if there's any typos or anything I need to change in there, and I'll be happy to do that. Thanks so much for watching. Please consider subscribing so that you catch all my latest homeschool videos, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye, everyone.